Top 10 Video Game Franchises. For The Sims to have racked up over 200 million sales is an impressive feat indeed, especially when one considers that there have only been 4 mainline titles. It's worth noting though that this figure does appear to include sales of the many expansions that have been released over the years, with The Sims 4 currently sitting at 14 and counting. In terms of the best-selling Sims games, The Sims 4 surpassed 20 million players in early 2020, making it the most-played title in the franchise's rich history. In second place sits the series' very first installment, which is thought to have sold around 11 million copies, with the other 2 Sims games having brought in around 13 million sales between them. The Sims is a series of life simulation games primarily for personal computers but later released for game consoles. It was created by American game designer Will Wright, developed by Maxis and published by Electronic Arts. The series consists of 4 main games and a number of compilations and expansion packs. Assassin's Creed is an action-adventure stealth video game franchise created by Patrice Désilets. The franchise is developed by Ubisoft Montreal and published by Ubisoft, and includes 13 mainline releases and several spin-offs. It has expanded into a media franchise spanning comic books, encyclopedias, novels, and a live-action film. Given that most of the best-selling video game franchises have been around since before the turn of the century, for Assassin's Creed to have shifted more than 200 million units since its 2007 debut is quite the achievement. Of course, it certainly helps that, including spin-offs, the series has averaged just shy of 2 new titles a year since the very first Assassin's Creed game. When it comes to the best-selling Assassin's Creed games, there are a couple of different contenders for the top spot. Assassin's Creed 4, Black Flag sold around 15 million copies, while in early 2022, Ubisoft revealed that Assassin's Creed Valhalla had generated over $1 billion in consumer revenue. However, it remains unclear how much DLC and microtransactions figured into this amount. The LEGO franchise of video games includes many different games, including original games as well as several adaptations based on licensed properties including DC Comics, Harry Potter, Indiana Jones, Marvel Comics, and Star Wars. Although there have been 1 or 2 big sellers, the success of LEGO video games is more to do with strength in numbers than it is individual brilliance. There have been more than 100 LEGO games since the turn of the century, ranging from tacky mobile titles to licensed games based on some of the world's biggest media IPs. Together, LEGO games are estimated to have sold more than 200 million copies, with licensed games making up a significant proportion of this amount. Among the most successful properties are LEGO Star Wars, LEGO Indiana Jones, and LEGO Batman, which, between them, have shifted well over 50 million units over the years. Minecraft is a sandbox and survival video game originally created by Swedish game designer Marcus Notch Persson and developed by Mojang. Originally a computer indie game made using Java, it has since been ported to game consoles and mobile devices. It was bought by Microsoft Studios in November 2014. It is the most successful video game franchise to originate in Sweden and the single best-selling game of all time. As well as being one of the best-selling video game franchises of all time, Minecraft also holds the distinction of being one of the best-selling games. Pretty much all of the $250 million sales or so that the series has achieved can be attributed to the influential sandbox title, with Minecraft Dungeons attracting another 10 million players or so. Given the huge success of the franchise, it's no wonder that Microsoft was willing to part with so much money to acquire Mojang in 2014, with the tech giant handing over $2.5 billion to make the deal happen. That may seem like a lot, but given that the series has generated more than $3 billion through game sales alone, most will likely see this as money well invested. FIFA is a series of association football-based sports video games, released yearly by Electronic Arts under the EA Sports brand. It is the first to have an official license from the Fédération Internationale de Football Association, FIFA, the international governing body of football. Considering North Americans are only just now beginning to appreciate the joys of football, the success of EA's FIFA franchise was all the more impressive. The series received annual multi-platform releases for almost 3 full decades, with the lion's share of its 325 million plus sales having come from European and South American countries. The best-selling FIFA game is FIFA 18, which sold more than 26 million copies. There were more than 10 FIFA games that have powered past the 10 million mark though, making it easy to see where that staggering total came from. However, after failing to agree a new deal with the organization from which the series took its name, EA was forced to rebrand the franchise to EA Sports FC in 2023. Grand Theft Auto is an open-world action-adventure video game series created by David Jones and Mike Daly, the later titles of which were created by brothers Dan and Sam Houser, Leslie Benzies, and Aaron Garba. It is primarily developed by Scottish developer Rockstar North and published by Rockstar Games, and consists of 11 standalone games and 4 expansion packs. Grand Theft Auto is the most successful video game franchise originating from the United Kingdom and is the best-selling action-adventure and open-world series. The series' best-selling game, Grand Theft Auto V, is the second best-selling video game of all time with around 200 million copies shipped. In a typical battle royale setting, players from all over the world are competing against each other in an open world that is getting smaller with time until players have nowhere to hide. The last remaining survivor is declared the winner. Rockstar Games seemingly has the Midas touch, with just about everything that the studio touches turning to gold. This all started with the Grand Theft Auto series, which, after its relatively humble beginnings back in the 90s, has gone on to become one of the biggest video game franchises around. A significant proportion of the series' 400 million-plus sales can be attributed to its fifth mainline installment, with GTA V having sold more than 185 million copies worldwide in the decade or so since its initial release. For those wondering, this is more than twice as many as the 4 previous mainline GTA games managed between them. Call of Duty is a series of first-person shooter video games. The series is published by Activision and developed by Infinity Ward, Grey Matter Studios, Treyarch, Sledgehammer Games, Raven Software, Neversoft, High Moon Studios, and Beenox. With new games in the series released annually to blockbuster-level sales, the series is verified by the Guinness World Records as the best-selling first-person shooter game series. It is also the most successful video game franchise created in the United States. In addition to main series sales, there have been over 500 million downloads of the mobile spin-off Call of Duty Mobile. Having beaten off strong competition from the likes of Medal of Honor and Battlefield, Call of Duty is now widely regarded as being the top dog when it comes to multiplayer FPS games. Unsurprisingly, this has led to phenomenal sales over the years, with the franchise having shifted more than 425 million units since its 2003 debut. Of the 12 Call of Duty titles to have broken through the 10 million unit mark, it's Call of Duty Black Ops that leads the way with an impressive 30.72 million sales. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, 30.71 million, and Call of Duty Black Ops 2, 29.59 million, take second and third place respectively and help to demonstrate just how dominant COD was at the height of its popularity. Pokémon was created by Satoshi Tajiri, founder and president of Game Freak, in 1996 as a role-playing video game for the Game Boy handheld game console, soon turning into one of the highest-grossing media franchises of all time. The franchise as a whole includes an anime series, various manga, a trading card game, toys, merchandise, books, over 20 films, one of the highest-grossing animated film series, and other media. It is produced by the Pokémon Company, which is a joint venture by the 3 companies holding the rights to Pokémon, Nintendo, Game Freak, and Creatures, while Nintendo owns the trademark. Pokémon has generated more than $88 billion since its inception back in 1996, making it the highest-grossing media franchise of all time by some considerable margin. It falls some way short of being the best-selling video game series though, with Pokémon games only accounting for a small proportion of the franchise's overall revenue. In total, Pokémon has shifted more than 480 million units, with the Gen 1 titles accounting for around 31 million of these. Pokémon Sword and Shield come in second place with 25 million sales, while Gold and Silver take the bronze with 23 million. Scarlet and Violet, 20.61 million, aren't too far behind though and will likely end up breaking into the top 3 before all is said and done. Tetris is a falling blocks puzzle video game created by Soviet game designer Alexei Pajitnov in 1985. Tetris variants were later commercialized and released on a vast spectrum of platforms, from video game consoles and computers to mobile devices and calculators, with the version bundled with the Game Boy selling over 35 million units, while various mobile games had seen over 425 million paid downloads by 2014. It is the most successful video game franchise to originate from Russia and the former Soviet Union, the best-selling puzzle video game series and the best-selling video game franchise not owned by Nintendo. Given its many re-releases and the fact that copies of Tetris were often bundled with the original Game Boy, it's easy to see how the title has amassed more than 70 million physical sales over the years. However, the game's success as a paid mobile app may come as a surprise to many, with reports suggesting that more than 425 million people had purchased it for their phones as of 2014. This not only cements Tetris' position as the best-selling puzzle game of all time but also makes it one of the most popular video game franchises to date. Mario first appeared in 1981 in the original Donkey Kong 40, and also appeared in the 1982 game Donkey Kong Jr., before starring in Mario Bros., followed by the Super Mario series of platform games. The character was created by Japanese game designer Shigeru Miyamoto and has since become the official mascot of Nintendo, owner of the trademark. The games are developed by various Nintendo studios. The Mario franchise has expanded into other game genres, including racing, sports, party, puzzle, and role-playing games. It has also found success in numerous other media, including 3 animated television series, comic books, a manga, a live-action film and an animated film and other merchandise. It is currently the best-selling video game franchise of all time. It is also the oldest in the 100 million-plus group. It shouldn't come as too much of a surprise to learn that Mario is the best-selling video game franchise of all time. Its 832 million unit sales place it well ahead of the nearest contender and are bolstered by a variety of hugely successful spin-off series, which include Mario Kart, Mario Party, and Mario Sports. These 3 series alone have accumulated more than 290 million sales, though the bulk of the franchise's earnings come from the mainline Super Mario titles themselves. Super Mario Bros. 40.4 million, and New Super Mario Bros. 30.8 million, are among the best-selling Mario games, though it's actually Mario Kart 8 that leads the way with over 65 million sales. Certainly. In conclusion, these top 10 video game franchises have not only entertained millions of players worldwide but also achieved remarkable financial success. From the intense battles of Call of Duty to the whimsical adventures of Mario, these franchises continue to shape the gaming industry and leave an enduring legacy. Whether you're a fan of RPGs, shooters, or classic arcade games, there's something for everyone in this diverse lineup. So, let's celebrate the creativity, innovation, and passion behind these iconic franchises.